How does it feel when someone else's goddess is my simp? The school belle, Willow, had been clinging to me for 5 years. I finally decided to give it a try with her. Unexpectedly, the very next day, I came across a post made by her simp childhood friend. The post read, 10 years of unrequited love has finally come to an end. The goddess is in a relationship now, but not with me. Between her and me, everything was filled with cruel twists of fate. The closest we ever got stopped at that farewell kiss. Letting go of 10 years of feelings feels truly strange. I can't bear to part with it. Yet I'm happy that she has found her own happiness. If the one who gave her that piece of candy back then had been me, would the person she fell in love with have been me instead? Netizens were moved by his decade-long devotion and admired his openness in understanding that love sometimes means letting go. However, Willow's reply pushed the post's popularity even higher. She wrote, "Yes." I stared at that single word and softly let out a breath. Finally found a reason to play for a day and then toss it aside. Chapter 1. I forwarded that post to Willow. I messaged her, "Let's break up. I'll step aside and fulfill your 10 years of missed chances." After sending it, I blocked her. At last, a huge weight lifted off my chest. I finally didn't have to be responsible for her anymore. How should I put it? Willow is actually quite pretty, and plenty of people chase after her, but I just don't feel any spark with her. I guess this is what people mean when they say that your goddess can also be someone else's simp. They say when a woman pursues a man, there's only a thin veil between them, and that saying really isn't false. After all, who could bring themselves to reject a confession from a girl who's been devoted for so long? When I decided to give it a try with Willow, her eyes were filled with shock, not the surprise and delight I had expected, but very quickly, she happily threw herself into my arms, tears of excitement glimmering at the corners of her eyes. I frowned for a split second, but still hugged her back, gently patting her head. Well, how do I say it? Friends for so long, might as well give it a try. Maybe feelings would grow with time, right? The result was that the very next morning, the moment I opened my eyes, I wanted to break up. While condemning myself as a scumbag, I searched forums for how to break up with a girlfriend I had just gotten together with, without leaving any obvious traces. But very soon, my attention was drawn away by all kinds of other eye-catching posts, and I completely forgot why I had opened the app in the first place. There was a post with over 10,000 likes. In the comments, everyone was lamenting a 10-year-long unrequited love. I glanced at the poster's avatar, and my heart skipped a beat. I switched to WeChat. Willow's avatar was a photo of her ragdoll cat. She had sent me a sketch her childhood friend had commissioned of the cat. At the time, she had joked, "Makoto just loves giving me these cheap little things. I think they're not even as good as what you draw." I had been busy then, glanced at it briefly, and didn't reply. After that, she changed the subject. The sketch had warm colors. I remembered it clearly. It was exactly the same as the avatar of the post's author. Suspicion rose in my mind. I matched the IP address and clicked into the pinned reply. The published content was empty, but her favorites were all restaurants Willow had once shared with me. I froze for a moment. This confirmed it. The person was my girlfriend, whom I had just started dating, and the one who made the post was my girlfriend's childhood sweetheart. They had missed each other, carrying 10 years of youthful pain and regret. Truly lamentable. Could I, such a kind-hearted person, really stand by and watch this regret happen right in front of me? With the corners of my mouth lifting uncontrollably, I posted a comment. "Holy crap. Why didn't you say it sooner? Why didn't you say it earlier? But it's fine, even now isn't too late. Love means letting go. Love means fulfillment. I'll break up with her right now and give her back to you. May you two be together forever." Chapter 2. After blessing Makoto and blocking Willow, I crawled back into bed and went back to sleep. After all the chaos last night, I hadn't slept well at all. Now that there was nothing weighing on my mind, the moment my head hit the pillow, I fell straight into deep sleep. It felt like I hadn't even closed my eyes for long before a frantic ringing of the doorbell jolted me awake. With a stiff face and a whole body full of pent-up irritation, I walked toward the entryway. Through the peephole, I saw two people, an anxious Willow, a dejected Makoto. I glanced at my phone. The forum's back-end notifications had completely exploded. The number of gossip-hungry onlookers had skyrocketed. Countless messages from unknown numbers flooded in. All of them were Willow trying to get me to stay. I rubbed my temples irritably. What the hell? After all that suffering finally paying off, shouldn't you be off somewhere kissing each other instead of coming here to cry like it's a funeral? The people outside switched from ringing the bell to pounding on the door. Willow shouted, "George, it's not what you think. The one I've always liked is you. I'm begging you, can you please not break up with me?" The moment she yelled that out, I almost pictured myself stepping outside later and facing my neighbors' strange looks. Would they gossip behind my back, whispering, "That's the scumbag, got her and didn't cherish her. Just played with someone else's feelings." A chill ran straight down my spine. I yanked the door open and snapped, "Shut up." Willow's eyes lit up instantly. She said, "George, I brought Makoto here to explain things to you. There's nothing between us, he's just my childhood friend." Makoto clenched his fists, his face pale. Forcing a smile, he nodded and said, "Yes, just childhood friends." As for me, my attention was fixed on something else, my damn neighbor, who was slowly opening a crack in their door. Chapter 3. I didn't want to bring the two of them inside. I was afraid that if they got too worked up, I'd end up as tomorrow's news headline. So we stayed at the doorway, letting the neighbor listen from behind the corner of their door. I said, "All right, are you done talking? Anything else?" I hurriedly lowered my voice and urged, "If there's nothing else, just go. Okay, I'm begging you." Willow looked even more miserable than I felt. With reddened eyes, she grabbed my sleeve and pleaded, "Can we not break up? This is all a misunderstanding. Makoto doesn't like me anymore. There's nothing between us. There really won't be anything. We grew up together. I've only ever seen him as a brother. If there were anything between us," it was such a classic line that I couldn't help but jump in, "if there were really something between you two, you'd have been together long ago. What would that leave me for?" Willow was left speechless. Makoto's face turned even paler. He stared blankly at the floor, then suddenly spoke up, "Right, I don't like Willow anymore." That single sentence stunned Willow. Her expression darkened, and there was even a trace of grievance hidden in it. She pressed her lips together, forced out a faint smile, and said to me, "You heard that, right, George? There's nothing between us. I've liked you for so many years, you should know how I feel." I leaned against the doorway, observing the subtle expressions between the two of them. "What a deeply tragic love story," I asked. "The kind of nothing that involves kissing." Willow frowned and looked at Makoto. "He kissed me while I was asleep. I had no idea about it at all." Makoto lowered his head, gritted his teeth, and said, "Yes, it was this year, on her birthday. She drank too much. When I was taking care of her, I stole a kiss. She didn't know. I had been at Willow's birthday party this year too. It was lively. Lots of friends came. She was as clingy as ever, and people kept teasing about our relationship. So after giving her my gift, I found an excuse and left." A flash of insight hit me. Thinking of a line from that post, I said, "Willow, you only like me because of a piece of candy. Whoever gives it to you, you'll like them." And after getting together with me, you still replied like that to Makoto. Doesn't that mean he's not completely absent from your heart? A glimmer of hope flashed through Makoto's eyes. Willow immediately denied it. "No way. I said that just to comfort him. How could I possibly be interested in a simp like him?" The next second, enough. Makoto's shout was even louder than when I told her to shut up earlier. The neighbor's door even shook. Willow looked at Makoto in shock. Makoto took a deep breath, looked at me, and said with a face full of resolve, Makoto, will never see Willow again from this day forward. If I ever have a future with her, may I die a horrible death." "Young Master Wong, are you satisfied now?" I said with a face full of black lines. "I said we're breaking up." He closed his eyes and said with intense emotion, "If you are satisfied, then from now on, love her well, cherish her, stay with her, take good care of her. She really, really likes you." Makoto didn't look at Willow even once. He turned around and left. Willow stared at his back for a long time, completely dazed. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I said, "Holy shit, does he not understand human language?" That made Willow turn back to me. Her eyes were red, her voice hoarse. She choked out, "So, George, are you satisfied now?" I took a deep breath and said, "All right. Fine. I'll lay my cards on the table. I'm done pretending. The breakup isn't entirely because of Makoto's post. The real reason is that I don't really like you, and you're not at least a little into Makoto, are you?" I step aside. "You two get together, 3 wins. Everyone's happy. Isn't that right?" Willow instantly stopped crying. Her face darkened completely. "What did you say? You don't like me?" I had originally thought I could avoid exposing myself as a scumbag. I nodded weakly and said, "Yes, even though I'm no saint. What you and Makoto did, carrying on behind everyone's backs, wasn't exactly admirable either. You're much of a muchness. The pot shouldn't be calling the kettle black. Let's just turn the page and move on," Willow said in disbelief. "You're saying, you don't like me?" I was speechless. Chapter 4. From behind the neighbor's door came a burst of laughter. The person inside tried to cover it up and said, "What kind of crazy man, crazy woman script is this? Ha 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 ha." I coughed hard on purpose, and only then did they finally close the door. Willow bit her lip, her body trembling faintly. I was honestly afraid she might drop dead right there, so I pulled out my phone, ready to dial 120 at any moment. Willow clenched her fists and looked at me with displeasure. "I know you're angry at me because of Makoto. You don't need to make up excuses like this. I'll give you time to think it through." She turned and left, her back just as resolute as Makoto's had been. I stood there in silence. I slunk back into my apartment, utterly pathetic, and opened my phone. The forum backend was overflowing with gossip-hungry people. I clicked into Makoto's post. It had been updated 10 minutes ago. It read, "Yes, I'm a simp. I've simped for her for over 10 years, but that doesn't mean I'm willing to be a pawn in your little game. Do you really need to belittle me to prove how great your relationship is? These 10 years, I was blind. My love let her grow spoiled and arrogant. But still, the same old line, when I loved you, whatever you said was right. When I don't love you anymore, who do you think you are? Since it's come to this, I'll wish you two a long life together. From now on, your business has nothing to do with me. Don't bother me again." Every sentence hit the mark. People had already started coming after me. Someone wrote, "It was just unrequited love, and he already let go. There was no need to humiliate him, right?" Another posted, "Useless guy. Keep your girlfriend in check. He just wanted to give his crush some closure. Your girl was the one who ran over and said it's possible. What the hell? Is there something wrong with these people?" I was so pissed that I threw a full set of punches at the air. I put on my clothes and knocked on my neighbor's door. So eager when it comes to gossip. Yet opening a door is like asking for her life. I knocked for 3 minutes before the person inside slowly opened the door and said, "You were talking so loudly. I heard everything. How is that my fault?" I cut off her speculation. "Hurry up, give me the video you just recorded." The camera at my door was broken, and the new one was still on the way. She froze for a moment, glanced at the camera with the red light on, and asked, "What happened?" I rolled up my sleeves, grinding my teeth. Going to war with a crazy man and a crazy woman, 800 rounds of verbal combat. Chapter 5. In less than 3 minutes, I received a video message from my neighbor, Anna. I was downloading it while walking back home. Anna followed behind me with sparkling eyes and said, "Where were you guys flaming each other? Take me with you too. Hello. Hello. Acknowledge me." I shut her outside the door. Getting dragged online like that, what's so glorious about it? I blurred sensitive parts of the video and uploaded it, tagging Makoto and Willow, with the caption, "Are you too deaf?" The video Anna gave me only captured Makoto leaving. The gossip crowd swarmed in instantly. Classic plot, I only see him as a brother. You have to love her well, spoil her, take care of her. So who exactly is part of the game here? Having a boyfriend and still sending signals to your secret crush is just trashy. Female lead equals scumbag. Case closed. How do we define stealing a kiss? You steal a kiss and then post about it online. Aren't you afraid of getting exposed? Is that still stealing? When I saw the first post, I already wanted to say this. She was already dating someone and still asking if he would like her too. Who is she trying to disgust? The anger in my chest finally eased. I replied one by one to the people who had insulted me earlier. To the first comment, I replied, "So what if I humiliated him?" I said it. Loser simp. Loser simp. What about it? You won too. To the second comment, I replied, "Who are you calling trash? Also, that's my ex now. Keep insulting her and you'll be talking about your own wife." I was replying with great enthusiasm when the system notified me that the post was gone. A bit of a shame. WeChat notifications popped up several times in a row. I opened them. It was screenshots from Anna. It was Makoto's post. She said, "Figured you might be so mad you'd black out, so I archived it for you." She really was experienced at this. I sent her a clasp fists emoji and replied, "In terms of loyalty, you're the best." She sent back an emoji too. Wait, how did she even find that post? I asked, "How did you come across it?" She's a female game streamer, really good with computers. Don't tell me she hacked my phone. The more I thought about it, the more terrifying it felt. Anna replied, "Recommended posts from nearby users." All right then. Sorry about that, I'm just naturally suspicious. Chapter 6. My phone rang. I have 3 kinds of calls I don't answer. Calls without a saved contact, don't answer. Calls that look like sales or scams, don't answer. Calls I simply don't feel like answering, don't answer. This one checked all 3 boxes, so I waited for it to hang up on its own. I let out a sigh of relief. The next second, it rang again. I frowned and waited for it to hang up again. Another sigh of relief. Then the number sent me a text message. In online harassment. Not a single snowflake is innocent. You are the mastermind. When midnight comes and you wake from your dreams, won't you be scared? Attached was a photo taken from a rooftop. Looking straight down. What the hell, did I commit some unforgivable sin just by dating a woman? Women are bad luck for me. I immediately pulled Willow out of my blacklist, screenshotted the message, and sent it to her. Your simp is about to jump off a building. Then I called the police. That photo had a recognizable landmark in it. It wasn't hard to locate the place. After changing clothes, I headed out and ran into Anna, who was going out to throw away the trash. She was dressed in her live stream outfit, covered her mouth in surprise, and said, "What kind of day is it today? The basement dweller is coming out of his cave. I'm a hardcore homebody. I work from home and maybe go downstairs a few times a month. with an expression like I'd just eaten shit. I said, I'm going downstairs, but not by stairs, and not by elevator. Anna looked thoughtful. Batman. I quickly headed toward the elevator and said, I'm not the one flying. Someone's about to jump. Anna carried the trash and followed closely behind. Who? That, Secret Crush Bro. Or, yes sis. I pressed the elevator button and said, Secret Crush Bro. I frowned. What kind of stupid nickname was that? Why did I even repeat it? Anna got into the elevator with me and directly pressed B1. I looked at her in confusion. You're throwing trash in the garage? She shook her head. What's more important, trash or a human life? I'm going with you. I glanced at her. Watching drama was practically written across her forehead, but I didn't call her out and let her sit in the passenger seat. She tossed the trash into the back seat, urged me to floor the gas pedal. I arrived first. On the rooftop, Makoto was sitting at the edge. I spoke nervously. Secret Crush Bro. No, Makoto. A real man never lacks women. Is it really worth it for one woman? Makoto gazed into the distance, let out a bitter laugh, and said, Do you know how long I've secretly loved her? 10 years. How many 10-year stretches does a person even have? And yet these 10 years of feelings have turned into my humiliation. Do you know how much of a clown I felt like when I realized the goddess I chased for 10 years liked you, and yet you didn't cherish her at all? What I begged for, you treated with utter disdain. 4 or 5 years. I watched her love you so humbly for 5 whole years, and you still didn't get together with her. So I waited and waited, hoping she'd finally let go of you and look back at me, but then you changed your mind. You got her so easily, and my hope completely collapsed. I licked my lips. What would a basement dweller know about saying pretty, comforting words? I nudged Anna with my elbow. She nodded at me and gave me a firm, determined look. Hope ignited in my heart. Then I heard her say, What you're waiting for now is for her to turn around and see you. If you jump, what you'll be waiting for is her visiting your grave every year. I was full of question marks. Makoto's back stiffened. Anna spoke the cruelest words in the gentlest tone. She said, If you stay alive, you get to watch your goddess date someone else. If you die, when she and her boyfriend visit your grave, they'll say, This guy died because he couldn't get her. And by the way, she'll get to show off how charming she is, so charming that men would die for her. After that, her boyfriend will place a bouquet of flowers for you, this loser, and tell you what you couldn't have. I'll take good care of for you, bro. Is that what you want? Chapter 7. Makoto fell silent. So did I. When Anna was about to speak again, I grabbed her hand and pleaded with my eyes for her to stop talking. Chapter 8. Willow finally arrived. She stopped a few steps away. Not daring to get too close, she said, Makoto, calm down. Don't do anything stupid. Her panicked, fearful voice stirred the atmosphere all over again. Makoto's desolate eyes were filled with sorrow. He let out a sigh and said, Liking you for 10 years was the stupidest thing I've ever done. Willow's eyes reddened. Yes, it's my fault. Makoto, can you come down first? Okay. Makoto closed his eyes and shook his head with deep, exaggerated affection. I can't walk out of those 10 years. Do you know what they call me? A clown, a simp. My unrequited love has become my disgrace. I slowly shifted my position and saw that the police had already set up an air cushion downstairs. I finally let out a sigh of relief and watched Willow and Makoto pull at each other verbally. Willow sobbed. Don't care about what other people say. It's not your fault, it's mine. If only I had known earlier that you liked me. Makoto looked at her and asked. Then you wouldn't have liked George, and would have liked me instead. Willow glanced at me with a conflicted expression and didn't answer right away. Holy shit, why are you looking at me at a time like this? Willow lowered her gaze, wiping away her tears as she said, I would sit down and have a good heart-to-heart talk with you. I closed my eyes. Inside, I was praying to every deity I could think of. Getting tangled up in this kind of bad luck would seriously give me nightmares. The police came up and started communicating with Makoto. At some point, Anna sidled up next to me and poked me. She's so understanding. I've decided to rename her Miss So Understanding. I ignored her. She glanced at me and couldn't help but snort with laughter. Hey, why are you such a coward? He's not going to jump. I covered Anna's mouth immediately, terrified that Makoto might hear and get provoked. I said, Saving a life earns you 7 layers of merit. Don't become the last straw that breaks the camel's back. Anna's eyes curved as she held back laughter. Under my hand, I could practically feel her shaking. Makoto, however, was burning with rage. He shouted at me. George, you're happy now, aren't you? Hearing her swear loyalty to you, aren't you thrilled? Now I was really anxious. I shot back. No, bro, what am I supposed to be happy about? I don't even like her, he said. You agreed to be with her, and you're saying you don't like her? My face twisted bitterly. It was my fault. I was completely, utterly wrong. Chapter 9. Fine, I'm a scumbag. I'm guilty. I deserve karmic retribution. I immediately started climbing toward the rooftop edge, only to have Anna grab my pant leg. She almost yanked my pants right off. She said, "Have you cleared your phone's browsing history before jumping?" I was speechless. I cleared my throat, hitched up my pants, and wailed. "I've got no moves left. Someone's about to die and they have to pin it on me. What am I supposed to do?" "Makoto, jump, jump. If you're gonna take revenge, go take Willow's life. Don't come after me." Everyone stared at me in shock. Even Makoto froze, staring at me blankly. The police officers who had been edging closer seized the moment and dragged him away from the ledge. Meanwhile, I was getting into the zone. I beat my chest and stomped my feet, shouting, "I already said I didn't want to date you. I just want to be a basement dweller. Who am I bothering? Willow, tell me what you like about me and I'll change it." "Okay." Willow looked at me, her voice trembling. "It's been 5 years. Haven't you liked me even a little?" She looked pitiful. That was exactly the look that had softened my heart back when I decided to give it a try. I said with difficulty, "I like Lolis." And Willow had a cool, aloof look, nothing cute about her at all. I said, "I'm a shut-in." "Willow likes traveling," I said. "I don't like interacting with strangers." "Willow likes clubbing and going to parties," I said. "Interacting with high-energy people, your glow is intense enough to dry me into jerky." "Willow can hike a mountain, then go to a temple fair, and still go karaoke with her girlfriends at night," I said. "Willow, we're really not compatible. I've told you so many times, I don't like going out, and I don't like you. I don't want to get involved between you and Makoto, but it's been 5 years, and you just don't get it. I delete you. You cry to your girlfriends and play the victim. Then your girlfriends come one after another to accuse me of hurting you. I really don't want my private life exposed in public. It feels like streaking shamelessly. Please let me go. I just want to be a rat crawling around on the internet." The light in Willow's eyes completely died out. Makoto looked at me, then at Willow. As the light faded from her, it seemed to surge into him instead. He suddenly became animated and said, "Willow, don't you get it yet? Look at the woman next to him. She's so pale, slim, and youthful." I was speechless and glanced at petite Anna. Willow snapped back to herself, her face flushing red as she questioned me. "So you dumped me because you already have a mistress?" Holy shit, what a master of interpretation. I was really about to explode. I laughed in sheer anger and said, "No, are you two idiots, even human?" Anna grabbed my arm, frowned, and waved her hand at me. "Don't say it, don't say it." Before I could speak, she dragged me away. Willow chased after us, sniffling as she said, "I don't care. If I didn't agree to break up, then it doesn't count. I can forgive you once, but do you know, I get hurt too. I feel sad too. Sincerity gets worn down bit by bit. One day I'll become numb to you, and I won't want you anymore either. When that happens, it'll be too late for you to regret it." My head was about to split open. I cursed. "Willow, do you even understand human language? Are your ears stuffed with dog hair?" Chapter 10. I was wrong. I was really wrong. I used to think simps were pitiful. Now I think that getting no response and still clinging on desperately is just plain sick. One Makoto, ready to live or die over a woman. One Willow, wanting to have it both ways, playing the victim while demanding everything at the same time. I couldn't help but think of the female-oriented romance novels Willow often shared with me, stories where an unfeeling scumbag man breaks up, then regrets it so deeply that he self-destructs to win the love back, only for the strong female lead to coldly say, "I don't want you anymore." And I always wondered, if the guy never liked her in the first place, why would he suddenly regret it for no reason? How did she manage to stay ambiguously entangled with Makoto on one hand, while playing the innocent victim on the other? While sitting in the car, so angry my stomach hurt, Willow sent me messages again. She wrote, "People who betray sincere feelings will swallow 10,000 needles. You know that. Yuri, just letting Makoto's situation affect your judgment right now. I'll wait until you calm down. Stop saying you don't like me. I don't believe it. Who's that woman next to you? She looks like a plucked chicken. If you have a girlfriend, you should keep your distance from other women. Don't you know that?" I was angry to begin with, but when I saw Anna being called a plucked chicken, I couldn't help laughing. She's like me, barely goes out, skin so pale it practically glows. Laughing, I said. "She says you look like a plucked chicken." Even though I tried to hold it back, Anna still caught the schadenfreude in my tone. Annoyed, she grabbed my phone and sent a voice message. Rolling her eyes, she said, "You old fossil. You'd probably chip your teeth just trying to eat. George likes little Lolis like me. After that, she tossed the phone back to me and said quickly, "Hurry, block her, suffocate her." Willow only managed to send a single question mark. I blocked her at lightning speed, blocked everywhere, not a single platform left out. I didn't forget Makoto either. After thinking it over, I decided not to delete that post, just hide it. Those two nutjobs might try to flip the script later. After driving for a while, Anna kept glancing at me, clearly wanting to say something. I said, Spit it out. She snorted softly. You've made up your mind to break up with Willow. I stared straight ahead and nodded. Of course, she asked. No chance of getting back together, I replied. I'd like to live a few more years. She smiled faintly, then asked. Then what about the future? Do you still want to date? I thought about it, then said decisively. No dating. Women are bad luck for me. The smile on Anna's face disappeared. After a while, she said. Actually, not every woman is like Willow, unable to understand human language and messing around with someone else at the same time. We were waiting at a red light. I looked at her and said. I wasn't carpet bombing everyone. She pressed her lips together slightly and sighed. All right, but judging by how she is, she's probably going to keep pestering you. What are you going to do? My temples throbbed. My head hurt. She asked, puzzled. Why is she so obsessed with you anyway? I stared ahead and let out a quiet sigh. I said. That goes way back. Chapter 11. I became a transparent person starting in high school. I didn't like being noticed, didn't like speaking in front of others. Group activities were the most painful thing for me. Back then, there were two people in the class who didn't fit in with the crowd. One was me, the other was Willow. I isolated myself on purpose. Willow, on the other hand, was isolated by others. Her family wasn't well off. Her clothes were worn. She looked undernourished, thin and small. During the long break, when everyone else went outside to move around, only the two of us stayed in the classroom. Her hypoglycemia flared up. She fainted on the floor while going to get water. With only the two of us there, if something happened to her, I would definitely be questioned. In that instant, I bolted over and caught her. Her eyes were unfocused, her lips pale, trembling. She muttered. Food. I had a bottle of lemon candies in my pocket. I poured them into my palm like spilling beans and stuffed them into her mouth. I said. Classmate, please don't die. At that time, I hadn't even remembered Willow's name yet. Her unfocused gaze slowly landed on me. After a while, other classmates came in, and Willow's condition improved a bit. Someone notified Makoto. Makoto rushed into the classroom and took her from me. I let out a huge sigh of relief. No trouble for me. I could go back to being my transparent self in peace. For the rest of that year in high school, I had no idea Willow had a crush on me. I would only occasionally feel a prickling sensation on my back, like being stared at. Then, after the college entrance exam ended, she confessed to me. It was completely out of nowhere. I turned her down gently. I stayed in the same city for college. Willow went to the same university as me, and she stuck to me for 4 years. During those 4 years, she changed drastically. She started wearing makeup, socializing, dressing up. In her sophomore year, she was even selected as the campus belle. The once unremarkable ugly duckling became a dazzling presence. She never hid that the person she liked was me. That was extremely uncomfortable. If the campus belle liked me, I wouldn't just feel a prickling on my back. It felt like thorns coming from every direction. I turned her down politely, then directly. I said we weren't suitable, said I didn't like her. Willow would grow dejected and say it was fine to just be friends. As a friend, she shared her life with me. If I didn't reply, she'd say pitifully, can't we even be friends? If I deleted her, she'd cry to her girlfriends, and they'd come one after another to accuse me of hurting her. I became numb. Whatever. A year after graduation, I stayed home working as an illustrator, taking commissions online, barely going out. Willow often asked me to go out and have fun. I rejected her 10 times out of 10. Just looking at the high-energy activities she shared on her social media made me feel exhausted to the point of death. There was no way I could go out with her. Only this year, on her birthday, I couldn't bring myself to refuse again and went to see her once. But those friends were way too enthusiastic. Some even started cheering us on to get together. They meant well, but the problem was, the campus belle liked me, and I didn't respond. That made me look incredibly ungrateful. So after giving her the gift, I found an excuse and left. That one outing required me to recuperate in bed for an entire week to recover. But my early departure hurt Willow. She came to my place, stood at my door, looked up at me with watery eyes, and asked pitifully, "Did I trouble you?" I really wanted to say yes, but she looked at me with reddened eyes, tears shimmering inside. At that moment, I thought her eyes were really beautiful, like black grapes. Maybe it was lust clouding my judgment. Maybe it was soft-heartedness. Sometimes, people just make inexplicably impulsive decisions, like being possessed by a ghost. After that, when she clung to me, I didn't refuse. And just like that, in a muddle, we got together. Willow wasn't particularly happy. I wasn't particularly excited either. The two of us were trapped separately, in her days, and in my regret. Then I came across Makoto's post. The target of condemnation instantly expanded from just me to the three of us. Suddenly, I felt refreshed, liberated. Chapter 12. That's how it all happened. I finished speaking just as the car pulled into the garage. Anna looked at me and asked, "What kind of look?" I froze for a moment. She lowered her head, rubbed her eyes, sniffed, then looked up again, her eyes watery as she stared at me, like this. With a deadpan face, I flashed a V sign and shoved it toward her. She immediately leaned back. Stop, my bad. After locking the car, I got out and shrugged. Dolly the cloned sheep only lived 6 years. If you're going to imitate something, at least imitate something decent. She jogged a few steps and followed me into the elevator. Actually, there is a way to make Willow stop pestering you. I raised an eyebrow and looked at her. Oh, what? She tilted her head and said, just find a partner. Her moral bottom line can't be that low. She wouldn't really be willing to be a mistress, right? After saying that, she thought about it for a second, sighed softly, and added, then again, hard to say. I sighed too. Life felt bleak. We said goodbye at our doors, back to back, each returning to our own place. I collapsed onto the sofa. The day's events had drained me so completely that I didn't even feel like touching my phone. I hadn't been lying there long when my phone vibrated. Anna sent me a link. The title read, someone jumped from a building at Orange Bay Plaza. People downstairs had taken photos from 7 floors below. Thankfully, no faces were captured. The comment section was buzzing. One person commented, apparently it was because of Heartbreak, couldn't take it. Another replied, details. The guy had been in a relationship with his partner for 10 years, only to find out he'd been cheated on for 5 of them. That's brutal. Poor guy. My vision went black as I kept scrolling. The all-powerful internet detectives had dug up my video. There were also new clarification posts from Willow and Makoto. I pulled both of them out of my blacklist to see what they had posted. Willow wrote, there was no cheating. I liked him for 5 years, and we only just got together. I only had a childhood friend relationship with the person who jumped. Makoto wrote, I apologize for the negative public impact caused by my actions. Please don't act on impulse like I did. Life is precious and not a joke. I wish everyone can find their own happiness. The comment section was chaos. I closed my phone and lay down on the couch peacefully. Where is my happiness? Not peaceful at all. I sat up, ready to jump in and flame those two. Unexpectedly, someone beat me to it. Their typing speed was insane. Cheating sis. Drop Tower liked you for 10 years and you didn't notice at all. Is your brain just decorative? Did you not notice? Or were you playing dumb? You enjoyed it, didn't you? Someone's had a crush on me for so long. Wow, I'm really charming. That's what you were thinking, right? You say you're together, why not mention that he already broke up with you? Too ashamed to say it? Or just shameless? Look at you, acting so innocent. Quit pretending to be a white lotus. You only know how to morally blackmail people with a conscience. Try that on someone else and you'd get slapped twice, minimum. Cheating sis. You and your childhood sweetheart are a perfect match. One simped for 5 years. One for 10. Want me to organize a simp competition for you two? Locked you two together forever. I threw the key into a septic tank. Go fish it out yourselves if you want out. My eyes spun. My mouth slowly fell open. Chapter 13. I give up. Anna flamed people without switching to a burner account. Chapter 14. She was using her streamer account. Now her viewers had wandered over too. Someone commented, Streamer, no stream today. So you came here to fight injustice instead? Streamer, what's your relationship with the male lead? Someone else posted, wow, full firepower, feels like a mortal enemy on the other side. I feel like Anna's got something going on. Is she trying to take this one out so she can move up herself? Luckily, Anna isn't very famous. Not many fans joined the fun. While attacking Willow, she still had the leisure to reply to her viewers. She posted, today I'm a righteous passerby. Can't I speak up for someone just because I'm not related? I, dumb fish, swear on my conscience that I don't know the people involved. None of your business. You talk too much, shoo. I switched to WeChat and asked Anna, won't this affect your account? Anna replied, it's fine. This is just a hobby. I don't rely on it to make a living. I asked, isn't this your job then? What do you live off of? Anna replied, my dad. I froze. She added, my dad collects rent. I was speechless. Thinking about myself, painstakingly building up followers, diligently updating commissions, and still getting reported from time to time. I hate capitalists. Before this, I only knew she was a game streamer. I didn't know her account. I clicked in, only 3,000 followers. Most videos had double-digit likes. Tragic. I went and gave her latest video a like. After exiting, Willow updated her post again. She wrote, I know I was wrong. Cry. JPG, I had poor boundaries. I didn't make things clear with the simp and said things that caused misunderstandings, which made you not want me anymore. But I really don't want to break up. The only person I like is you. Can you give me one more opportunity? Anna instantly grabbed the top comment spot. She wrote, opportunity sis. She set the tone perfectly. After that, Everyone in the comments started calling Willow opportunity sis. Makoto couldn't take it anymore and came over to comment. Seriously, are you done yet? Do you have to put me down again and again? What do my 10 years of taking care of you even count for? Anna jumped into Makoto's comment thread to stir things up. Counts as you loving being a simp. Willow replied to Makoto. I'm sorry for your feelings, but my heart can only hold one person. Anna kept piling on. Sorry sis, I replied to Willow. No chance of getting back together. A good ex should be treated like they're dead. I'm begging you, can you stop resurrecting in front of me? Anna commented right after her. See that? Ex sis, stop playing zombie. Makoto replied to Anna. Who are you to him? Hopping around like this? Anna replied to Makoto. Hey, simp bro, better to hop around here than hop off a rooftop, right? Anna. I was genuinely moved to tears. When it comes to being a professional internet troll, she's got it down to an art. Chapter 15. After Anna went on that whole tirade, I got hungry. I asked her what we were having for dinner. My schedule is a mess and I'm too lazy to cook. Anna, on the other hand, besides loving to stream, also loves cooking. I often struggle over what takeout to order every day. She often struggles with cooking too much and not being able to finish it. In the second month after she moved in, she knocked on my door and gave me a plate of pumpkin pancakes. She's very cute. Sure, but you can't just eat food other people give you. Who knows if it's some kidney harvesting trap or something. That's how a basement dweller is, scared of this, scared of that, scared of people, ghosts, and rat poison. But I couldn't exactly refuse her. So I took the pumpkin pancakes and let them mold and rot in the trash can. That was a bad decision. Why does my entire life consist of nothing but bad decisions? After that first time, Anna started feeding me food frequently. As time went on, she didn't act surprised at all that I was still alive and kicking, so I gradually let my guard down. When she made cream puffs, I returned the favor with some tea snacks. The next day, she was still breathing normally, so I started eating the food she brought me. The first bite nearly made a grown man cry. Food this good? I had thrown it away for over a month. I transferred money to Anna and asked her to make sure I had something to eat every day. She happily accepted the red packets and, every day at a fixed time, placed food in a bowl outside my door. After I finished eating, I washed it and put it back outside. Once we got familiar, I discovered she was extremely talkative and loved gossip. There are 15 floors in this building. She's added tenants from 3 floors, and whenever there's gossip, she tells me all about it. Wait, after asking her what we were eating, I sent another message. What's your relationship with the tenants on those 3 floors? Anna sent me a photo of chicken wings, then replied, they are tenants. A few years ago there was a demolition project. Our family got a bunch of apartments. My dad said the rent from this building is all mine. My hatred took on a concrete form. I ground my teeth and gnawed on the Coke-braised chicken wings she sent me. Even the heavens seemed to sense my indignation. Heavy rain started pouring down. To the sound of rain, I finished dinner and started rushing a commission. Communicating with the client, I worked until after midnight, when the client suddenly sent me a message. George, is this post talking about you? My heart skipped a beat. A bad feeling surged up. I clicked into the post. A stranger's account had tagged my main account. I'm waiting for you downstairs, waiting for you to change your mind. Chapter 16. Willow knows what I do for work, but my main account was hidden very carefully. I never told anyone about it the moment I created it. I cautiously turned off every possible friend recommendation setting. So how did Willow find it? How long has she known? This woman is meticulous and calculating. She cannot be allowed to stay. I pulled Makoto out of my blacklist and messaged him. Willow is downstairs at my building. She's about to get soaked to death by the rain. Makoto replied instantly. Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. Why should I care about her? Stop bothering me. I replied. Yeah, I think so too. Let her get soaked to death. 2 hours later, I was getting ready to sleep. Makoto messaged me. She has a fever. She's been calling your name nonstop. Fuck, I replied. If she's sick, go see a royal physician. I'm not a doctor. Makoto said. Sigh, your heart is really cold. I laughed and replied. If my heart weren't cold, I'd end up like you. 10 years of unrequited love. Makoto went silent for a moment, then replied. Even so, I still hope she can be happy. I replied. What a deeply devoted man. Bless you too for 10,000 years. I'm moved to tears. Makoto scolded me. You read just as sharp-tongued as that plucked chicken person. What on earth does Willow like about you? I replied. I honestly don't know. Ask her. I'll definitely change it. I got blocked. A total victory. I also blocked both Willow and Makoto on my main account. Then I made a response post. Focusing on work. Commission slots open. Story detail PDF included with commissions. First come, first served. Only 10 slots. Chapter 17. That night, orders poured in. I probably smiled even in my sleep. I organized my schedule and confirmed everyone's commission requirements. After catching up on sleep, I woke up to find that the all-powerful netizens had already connected the dots with Willow's new account. In just one night, traffic on my main account skyrocketed. Orders flew in like snowflakes. I drew like my life depended on it, lost in it, obsessed with it, possessed. Hands flying. Draw faster. Damn it. I sat at my desk all day without moving. In the evening, the doorbell rang. I opened the door full of energy. Anna was standing there, carrying 2 meals. She said, "You didn't even touch lunch. Still hung up on those 2. I took the food, patted her shoulder energetically, and said, "What are they? Once I achieve financial freedom, the first thing I'll do is keep you." No, that was getting carried away. Way too carried away. I quickly corrected myself. I'm joking. Seeing her stunned expression, I tried to ease the awkwardness. Ha ha ha. As if I could afford that. Right. She's a rich young lady. That familiar feeling came back again. The hatred surged up. I couldn't laugh anymore. I said, "Don't worry. I was just rushing commissions. A ton of orders came in yesterday." Anna was acting strangely obedient, almost too obedient. She blinked rapidly and said, "I don't spend much. I eat very little. I'm not picky or high maintenance. I don't like luxury brands. My hobby is buying groceries and cooking." She pulled out her phone and opened her savings page. "Look, I really don't spend money. I just save it. I don't even know how to use it up." My gaze locked onto that long string of zeros. I clenched my fist. She was definitely provoking me. I turned around, walked inside, and shut the door. So what if you're rich? Damn rich people. One day, I'll be richer than her. Chapter 18. I rushed commissions non-stop for half a month. The client paid the remaining balance very smoothly, then asked me about the follow-up to the story. After so many nights of staying up late, my brain wouldn't turn properly anymore. I froze for a second, trying to recall what follow-up was there. I opened my phone and realized that one of Willow's girlfriends had messaged me. It had been buried under a pile of unread messages. I clicked it open. Yesterday, she had forwarded a long message on Willow's behalf. It read, "Maybe we're just 2 intersecting lines, briefly crossing, then moving farther and farther apart. No matter how much I beg, I can't stop you from leaving. For these 5 years, I've kept asking myself whether holding on had any meaning. But when I think of the day you saved me, my redemption, I feel that everything was worth it. But my sincerity was given to the wrong person. I should also look at the one who's been waiting for me all along." That morning, my head hurt badly. When I woke up, I saw Makoto taking care of me, feeding me medicine. I also saw the chat history between you and him. You really didn't care about me at all. I treated him so badly, yet I treated you so well. Makoto isn't like you. Your heart is cold. I can't warm it. I can't treat him the way you treated me. That would be too cruel. I've decided, I don't want you anymore. It was already a message from 10 days ago. I forwarded it to Anna to gossip. "Childhood sweethearts forever and ever," Anna replied. "After reading that, how do you feel? Any regret about betraying sincere feelings, wanting to cry in self-harm and remorse?" I replied, "I'm wondering if she can post another official announcement, maybe bring me another wave of traffic." Anna replied, "Wow, if you don't get rich, who will? I'll dance a get rich dance for you. Come to my stream." I replied, "That sounds great." Anna then asked, "By the way, the type you said you liked on the rooftop last time, was that real?" I yawned. My head was spinning pretty badly. She sent more messages, a lot of them. I didn't read clearly and replied perfunctorily, "More or less, I'm sleeping." The moment my head touched the pillow, I fell asleep. There was a gap in my next commission schedule. I could sleep a bit more. When I woke up again, it was already noon the next day. My throat felt dry. After washing up, I drank a cup of warm water, but my whole body still felt sluggish. I touched my forehead. It was a bit hot. The medicine at home had expired. Just as I was about to order delivery, the doorbell rang. Anna was standing outside. I opened the door. She nearly blinded me. She was wearing a new dress and had her hair done. I hesitated and said, "Miss Rich Girl, got a date today?" Anna hugged a food container and stuffed it into my arms. Sort of, you could say that. I didn't know why she wouldn't look at me. The container was heavy. I lowered my head and muttered, "That's too much. I can't finish it." Anna said awkwardly, "Something rare for her." I haven't eaten either." I looked at her, and suddenly something occurred to me. I said, "Could you?" Anna's voice trembled as she blurted out, I'm willing. What nonsense was that? I continued, "Give me some fever-reducing pills. Mine are expired." She puffed out her cheeks and said, "Here." Chapter 19. She looked strange, like she was annoyed and embarrassed at the same time. Wearing a lowly-style dress, she stood on tiptoe and touched my forehead, asking, "Did you take your temperature?" I brushed it off. "No, just feels a bit off." Her hand was a little cold, and it actually felt pretty nice on my forehead. I shook my head slightly. She said, Wait for me a moment. Leave the door cracked. I nodded and carried the food container inside. I set it on the coffee table and sank into the sofa. My whole body relaxed. I closed my eyes. The door opened, then closed again. The sound of the kettle boiling reached my ears. Suddenly, something cold touched my ear. I instinctively tried to lift my head. She said, "Hold on, taking your temperature." With a series of beeps, the cold sensation went away. Anna said in surprise, "You really do have a fever." She squatted down and shook my arm. "Don't sleep yet. Eat a bit first. Okay, you can take the medicine later." She opened the food container, took out the dishes, found a bowl, and scooped rice from the container. I ate a few bites. I'd originally wanted to say I had no appetite, but once the food hit my mouth, my appetite suddenly came back. Anna sat to the side, propping her chin up with one hand, staring at me blankly. I suddenly became a little more clear-headed and awkward. She seemed to sense it too. Her cheeks flushed as she pulled her gaze away, stood up, packed the food container, and even washed the bowl. Then she walked to the entryway and said, "The hot water's ready. Don't forget to take the medicine in half an hour. The pills are on the coffee table in the living room." I nodded. She gave me a soft smile, waved, and left. The door closed gently, but in my ears, that closing sound kept echoing over and over again. Bang, bang, bang. Chapter 20. After taking the medicine and lying back on the bed, I found that I didn't really want to sleep. Anna asked me whether I'd taken the medicine. I replied that I had. She sent me a cat-hugging sticker. Without realizing it, the corners of my mouth lifted. I tapped into my pinned contact and messaged her, "Mom, I've been doing pretty well lately. Got a lot of commissions, about to get rich. Ran into 2 crazy people, but luckily they're a matched set. There's also someone else, the very cute female streamer I told you about before. Do you think I'm imagining things? Why do I suspect she likes me? Mom, do you think we'd be a good match? Roll a 1 if we are. I tossed a dice emoji. The dice spun and spun on the screen. Chapter 21. I put my phone down and closed my eyes. After a while, I reached a hand out from under the blanket and fumbled my phone back in. I called Anna. The call was picked up immediately. She asked, "What's wrong? Are you feeling really bad? Do you want to go to the hospital?" I said quietly, "I miss home." There was silence on the other end for a moment. Then she said, "Want me to sing you a song?" I hummed in response, and she started singing. I ride my fridge to work. The moon is clocking in. The boss is a bowl of instant noodles. No, what on earth are you singing? But I fell asleep. I really dreamed that my mom had come home and cooked for me. When I woke up, there was a smile on my face, and my body felt much better. It was dark outside, not quite late into the night yet. My stomach was a little hungry. I wanted to check the time, only to realize the call was still connected. I softly called out, "Anna." There was an immediate response on the other end. She asked, "You awake? Hungry? I cooked some lean pork congee. Do you want some?" "I do," she said. "Then I'll put it in the bowl outside your door. Don't forget to take it." I was speechless. From the speaker came the clinking of utensils, the sound of a door opening, then closing. She said, "All set." I opened the door. The motion sensor light in the hallway turned on automatically. The same thermal food container I'd seen at noon was sitting there again. A new post quietly appeared online. "I suspect dumb fish is dating someone. She used to stream without showing her face, and her voice was always kind of rough. But last stream she said someone insisted she had a lowly voice." Who insisted? It made me laugh so hard I got chills. Lowly voice. I'm about to throw up. Is she possessed or something? And she's been way more gentle when trash-talking people lately. Someone else asked, "So, does that mean the person she likes is listening in her stream?" There are only a few old regulars in her stream, not many new viewers. Next time, we should try to find any suspicious accounts. The other person replied, "I already checked. There aren't any suspicious ones." Another asked, "Then why is she like this?" Chapter 22. I'm in pretty good health. After I recovered, I didn't rush to take on new commissions. Instead, I cautiously tested the waters to see if Anna was free. Anna replied, "Yeah, I am. I don't really feel like streaming lately. What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I dreamed about my mom last time. I felt like maybe she misses me. How do I put this? No other meaning. Really, I just wanted to take you out for a drive. The cemetery scenery over there is actually pretty nice. I mean, forget it. Just pretend I didn't say anything." I couldn't keep going. I hung up the call and clicked my tongue. Damn it, why is it so hard just to ask her out? Why did I suddenly bring up my mom? First date at a cemetery. That's certainly unique. I leaned back in my chair, replaying my incoherent babbling from just now. My face heated up. The doorbell rang. Anna was there again, makeup on, hair done, radiant as ever. She said brightly, "Let's go." Visiting Mom. On the way downstairs, she started chattering again. She said, "So when we get there, What should I say to your mom? Should I report what you've been eating lately? You becoming rich definitely has to be mentioned, but your schedule is really terrible. I think it's necessary for your mom to come lecture you in a dream, I said speechlessly. My mom never scolded me. Anna rolled her eyes. Don't believe it. With that shitty schedule of yours, she'd definitely say a few words. I pulled out my phone, opened the chat, and tossed a dice emoji. I said, all right, odd number means she would scold me. Even number means she wouldn't. The dice stopped. I smugly showed her. See, it's a 6. She tilted her head, snorted lightly, and said, I saw it. There's a 1 on top too. You secretly rolled twice. I froze and immediately put my phone away. I brushed it off. I said she wouldn't. So she wouldn't, Anna replied. Say whatever you want, I'm definitely tattling. Her tone was light and cheerful. That reminded me of the first time Anna heard that my mom had passed away. She'd already been bringing me food for a while and we were fairly familiar. One day she asked whether my mom wouldn't scold me for not eating properly. I told her my mom had passed away when I was in middle school. Her eyes immediately welled up, panic flashing across her face. I had to comfort her. It's fine. My dad's still around. Her voice trembled as she said, oh. Uncle must be a really good person. I smiled and nodded. Yeah, he bought this apartment for me, left me a car, supported me until I turned 18, and only then started a new family. Her lips turned pale. So that's how it is. I took the food container from her hands, worried she might drop it, and said, careful, the soup will spill. That day, she kept looking back every few steps as she left, like a little cat that couldn't bear to leave its owner. Chapter 23. I know she pitied me, but to me, it didn't really feel like that big a deal. During the hardest period, I kept thinking every day, if I hadn't gone out to play, my mom wouldn't have had that accident. Dad suffered too. His hair fell out in clumps. He didn't want to see me, yet couldn't bear to be without me. I lived at my uncle's place, with 2 older cousins. Even though I could shut my door, they could open it at any time, walk in, look at me with pity, with blame, with complicated expressions. Those gazes turned into a thorny net, spreading over me from all directions. I didn't want to be seen. I wanted to hide. It wasn't until high school that Dad took me back. He had aged so much, and he barely talked anymore. After work, he would often sit in the living room without turning on the lights. When I came home from school and turned the light on, the light would throw his shadow onto the wall, like a monster that flashed by and vanished. I missed my dad, but I was also afraid of him. After the college entrance exam, his eyes were red as he said to me, George, I can't look into your eyes. Every time I do, I think of your mom. When he met someone new, smiles returned to his face. Being trapped in the past forever is too painful. I'm moving forward too, but I will always remember my mother. The mother on the gravestone is still young, smiling beautifully. Anna said, hey, your eyes look a lot like Auntie's. I looked at her, then lowered my head, smiling bitterly. Do they? Maybe. She stood with the sun behind her and leaned closer. Yeah, both really beautiful. The sunlight behind her pierced my eyes, and tears fell instantly. I froze. Anna raised her hand and wiped the tears from my face. She wagged her finger and said, wow, you really can't take a compliment. Huh. I smiled again and said, I want hot pot tonight. Will you make it at home? She blinked, the corners of her lips curving up slightly. Of course, I can make anything. Then tonight, we'll go to Anna's place for hot pot. Chapter 24. A few days later, the forum backend started flooding nonstop with tags and private messages. Both my main account and burner accounts were getting hit. I pulled Makoto and Willow out of the blacklist and clicked in to watch the drama. Sure enough, it was another post by Makoto. The person I simped for 10 years turned out to be nothing special after I finally got her. I stared, eyes wide open. This was posted by Makoto. He wrote, I really did simp for her for 10 years. I don't know whether she knew I liked her, but she definitely responded to my efforts. So I believed that sincerity would be met with sincerity, that as long as I persisted, one day she'd turn around and see me. Facts proved I was wrong. Completely, utterly wrong. Once she got together with the person she liked, she spared no effort denying our past, as if I were a cockroach, a pest, a harmful virus, disgusted by my very existence. That's when I felt disappointed, but I wasn't willing to accept it. Were all her responses to me just my imagination? Her choice finally woke me up. People telling me not to be a simp hit me like a bolt of lightning. She wasn't unaware of my crush, she enjoyed my care, tacitly allowed my feelings to boost her sense of charm, while at the same time displaying her true love for someone else. This bitch used me. I was furious, but I didn't expose it. I pretended to be the same considerate person as before, stayed by her side, took care of her when she was sad and miserable. Sure enough, she agreed to be my girlfriend. At first she was still thinking about her white moonlight. Ridiculous. Did she think I couldn't tell? But I endured it. because I knew she hadn't really fallen for me yet. Until she truly did, until she fell hard. Just yesterday, I took her down. She said she was willing to marry me and wanted to be with me for life. Heh, as if she deserves it. I slept with her and then dumped her. Doesn't she like being emotionally abused? Now I'm doing it too. Goodbye. You're just average. Willow's post was still pinned at the top. She wrote, "Please don't abandon me. Don't break up with me. Okay." I excitedly forwarded everything to Anna. Anna, one sentence can truly enlighten a person. Anna replied, "She's actually, wait sis, waited for you. Then kept waiting for revenge bro." I laughed so hard I almost choked. Another tag popped up in my notifications. It was Anna tagging me in her post. She wrote, "No meddling, already happy." Someone commented with a screenshot that read, "I, dumb fish, swear on my conscience that I don't know the people involved." Anna replied, "What does dumb fish swearing have to do with me, Anna?" Then another comment appeared. "Oh, I'm not trying to stir things up, but I've never seen this account in her live stream. A few days ago her voice was that gentle. Everything she said sounded sweet and sticky, and she was even twerking. Who was she fishing for? I'm really not trying to start drama, but when her boyfriend isn't in the stream, she's still acting all coy and affected. Shouldn't she maybe pay attention to that? Again, not trying to start drama." Chapter 25. I took a screenshot and went to ask her about it. Coincidentally, she sent me the same screenshot at the same time. I asked, "What did you say in your live stream?" Anna replied, "Which alt account did you use? Hurry up and throw it in and slap her in the face." I was full of question marks. Anna was also full of question marks. After a while, she sent me a screenshot of her own chat history. Anna had said, "By the way, the type you said you liked on the rooftop last time, was that real? Shy. I think I fit your ideal type pretty well. Want to give it a try?" I was just saying it casually. Don't overthink it. Now that you know my account, you can come watch my stream. Tips aren't necessary. It's fine if you don't come either. Besides eating, we can also talk sometimes. If you don't want to be discovered, you can use an alt account. And my reply back then was, "Yeah, I'm sleeping." Anna replied, "Happy JPG." She was happy way too early. At the time, I hadn't paid attention to what she was saying at all. My brain was full of sleep. Feeling a bit guilty, I changed the subject. "I want braised pork today," Anna replied. "Then let's go downstairs together later and buy groceries at the supermarket." I replied, "Happy JPG." Going out was actually kind of interesting. Good for exercise, good for resting my eyes, and with a sweet girl for company. Tonight, I'll go into her live stream with my main account. Extra. After getting together with Anna, my life didn't change much. My daily routine was still the same: sleeping, eating, working. The difference was that when I did these things, there was often someone coming to bother me, to keep me company. Both of us have terrible schedules, but she's slightly better than me. She ends her stream at 12 and goes to sleep. I, on the other hand, stay up late. After she got together with me, she also started staying up late. People really do pick up bad habits that easily. Staying up late makes you hungry. And then she learned to make quite a few late-night snacks. 3 months after we got together, the two of us gained 5 pounds each. Anna has a bit of appearance anxiety. After her face put on a little flesh, she kept worrying that people would call her a fat fish head, and she started pacing nervously up and down the stairs. I thought she was climbing stairs to lose weight. In the 4th month, she linked her arm with mine and asked me to accompany her upstairs. I said, "Even if it's the landlord's place, it's still not very appropriate to go in like this, right?" She had already opened the door. She said, "They moved out a long time ago. This place hasn't been rented out again. I just had someone come clean it up recently." I stepped inside and froze. Different areas inside were filled with different kinds of fitness equipment. A treadmill, dumbbells, a hula hoop, a stationary bike, and some things I didn't even recognize. Her eyes sparkled as she said, "So, this place has been turned into a gym. From now on, we don't have to worry about getting fat even if we eat late-night snacks." I was silent for a moment, then said, "You mean, this apartment that's twice the size of my place is used just for us to work out?" Anna ignored me and said, "Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that, just tell me, how is it?" I stroked my chin and said it was indeed pretty nice. Anna was clearly in a good mood. She excitedly picked up a little teddy bear plush from the equipment, spun around the room, and said, "Have you seen my little bear?" I blurted out, "Nope, never seen it." I'd been scrolling too many overused memes lately. As soon as I said it, I realized, damn it, my mouth was faster than my brain again. I awkwardly glanced at her, hoping she hadn't understood what I meant. Anna froze for a second, pressed her lips together, and said, "I'll go check over there." If you ignored the fact that she suddenly started walking with both hands and feet on the same side, and that she went from a fair-skinned, pretty white chicken to a flushed, Red Orleans roast chicken. You really wouldn't be able to tell that she'd understood. After realizing that, my face also slowly started heating up. We silently finished touring the gym, then went home. That strange atmosphere still wasn't broken, until we went downstairs and arrived at our respective doors, when she suddenly called out to me, her cheeks flushed, and said, "Well, do you want to see it?" "See what? See what?" "Don't say things that'll get flagged by content moderation." I said, "That might not be a good idea." Damn it, my mouth was fast again. She hadn't even said what she wanted me to look at, and I answered like that. I had to save it. So I said, "If you really want to show it to me, then it's not like I'm completely against it." My face heated up. I wanted to kneel down and beg my own brain to stop thinking about that kind of junk. She said, "Then I'll go back and get ready." Anna finished saying that at lightning speed and slipped inside. I stood at the doorway for a while, admitted my true inner self, then I went back to my room, took a shower, and brushed my teeth. I didn't know what Anna was preparing. She still hadn't come over. Like a thief, I opened a web page, clicked into a premium title, and appreciated it for a bit. There was no air conditioning on in the room, but I felt like I was about to start smoking. We'd been together with Anna for 4 months. We'd hugged, kissed, and I'd even taken cold showers, but we'd never gone all the way. I was nervous. She was a little scared too. I'd seen her search history before. Will I be disliked the first time? How can I make a man unable to get enough of me? How can I make a man more obsessed with me? A girl's first-time anxieties, all handed over to her phone. At that moment, the tension in my heart faded a little. I started observing her body lines. I told myself I was doing this purely to improve my professional skills. This was serious business. When she streamed, I would sit beside her and stare at her. Her curves were graceful. When she streamed, her fingers glided over the keyboard, long, slender, nimble. Her smile was sweet, but her tone would often slip because she couldn't keep it cute, suddenly bursting out with a few lines of her local dialect. Then she'd cover her mouth and laugh lightly in a remedial move, turning soft and gentle again. My gaze moved from her fingers to her lips. Anna didn't have thin lips. When she spoke, as her lips parted and closed, I could see the tip of her tongue inside. Then my eyes slid inch by inch down along her neck. In the end, my gaze was probably far too blatant. Anna pressed her lips together, her voice trembling as she said, "Forget it, forget it. Let's stop here today. No stream, no stream." I watched her through the entire stream like that. When she ended the stream, she clamped her legs together and didn't move. Normally, at this point she'd immediately run over and sit on my lap asking for cuddles. But tonight, she didn't move. I patted my thigh and said, "Why aren't you coming over yet?" She spun her chair around, eyes dodging, and said, "Why is it always me going over? Can't you come over instead?" It sounded provocative, but that sticky, soft voice was more like she was acting spoiled. Of course I indulged her, so I went over. But when I got close, I felt the air itself was slightly damp. I subconsciously sniffed. She hurriedly kicked against the floor and slid her chair backward, nearly bouncing away. I grabbed the armrest of her chair and said, "Hey, why are you running?" She blinked rapidly, then turned her head away, presenting her red ears to me. She said, "You're so bad. Go back a bit." It made me look like a pervert. If I didn't play along, I'd be letting her shyness down. So I cupped her face and kissed her. Her skin was scorching hot. Confused, she hurriedly pushed me away. She said, "I'm going to sleep now. Hurry up and go back." I said speechlessly, "What? You're kicking me out?" She pushed me by the back and drove me out of her place. I was a little annoyed at first, but then I remembered her flushed expression, and it clicked. I called her. She didn't answer. I called again. Still no answer. I kept calling. She picked up. Through the faint electric hum, I heard her breathy, drawn-out voice. She said, "Husband, what's wrong?" Pinching my own thigh to hold back laughter, I asked, "Feeling good now?" She snapped and hung up the phone. I laughed so hard I collapsed onto the bed. The door opened. My memories were cut short. Anna walked in wearing a nightgown and sat down by my bed. I stared at her without blinking. She took my hand and guided it under her clothes, eyes sultry like silk threads, and said, "How do you want to look? With a night this long?" Of course I was going to look thoroughly. Such a delicacy. Eat it, eat it.